right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Welcome to the best soccer show, the best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go. It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Jared Dubois, wearing a Valderrama shirt. That is a fine choice. Happy holidays.
El Pibe.
El Pibe. You know what El Pibe means?
The little P.
No, that's Chicharito.
Oh,
missed
my
a
bad.
penalty kick for Chivas and got a bounce from the playoffs. I don't know if you saw that. Do you wish good things or bad things for Javier
I
Hernandez?
used to wish good things until I saw some of his stances on women recently.
Ooh, he's leaning into the machismo a little bit. That
I mean, I kind of had to like him for a bit. Like, here's the bad thing about being a Galaxy fan. If you take the U.S.-Mexico rivalry seriously, it's tough times to be a fan of your club.
Yeah.
Because we have a history of bringing like Luis Hernandez, who I hated, to my club. You know, we had to bring both those Santoses. Jonathan Dos Santos got into my heart, I'm not gonna lie. But Gio, hell with him.
Yeah.
Chicharito. Yeah. I mean, I can't stand Antuna, who is with us. Like
Uriel Antuna.
I mean, it's tough if you're an LA fan.
You know, but it's not even just, I mean, obviously that's the USA-Mexico rivalry that you're pointing out, but you also have to make your peace with like, oh, I have to be cool with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, even if you're not. And I'm not saying you were one of those people, but lots of people don't like Zlatan.
Cool. How you not cool with Zlatan?
I don't know. You know, I heard Zlatan's name on a podcast I listened to. It was not about, it's not about soccer. They were doing male divas, and one of the people on the podcast picked Zlatan as their male diva. And I was like, yeah, it's probably good.
I'll give Connor this one. Jorge Campos was cool. I didn't mind Jorge Campos being on your team. I mean, he just
Jorge Campos. Ronaldo has told me that Campos lied about his height, making himself shorter so that he could be more like, oh, look at how short he is, and he's still
maybe, but you look at him, he's still short.
He's still short.
I mean, he might be Kevin Hart short.
No, he's not. Speaking of Kevin Hart, oh look, there he is. He's going to be part of the draw.
For those that can't see on the podcast, we've got the graphic here of the 2026 World Cup final draw coming to you from Washington, D.C. on December 5th, 2025. And perhaps with Jason Davis.
Perhaps there will be another celebrity on hand.
Oh,
myself, Jason Davis. Look, honestly, I don't know. I mean, all jokes aside, I have no idea if they're going to let me in the building. I have no idea.
I've been waiting to find out. And it was a late application, but not your fault.
I have managed to avoid saying things about certain people who will be there, perhaps receiving peace prizes.
Oh,
I've been careful about my language around those particular individuals. Oh, this is about him. Let me make sure that this is clear. This is about now. We're talking about the U.S. men's national team, and that's why I care. But the draw for my national team in a World Cup. But this is about that guy in the White House. I don't know if Kevin Hart and Heidi Klum were hired because of him. I don't know if that he loves Andrea Bocelli. I don't know that he knows who Robbie Williams is, or that he cares about.
I mentioned it.
Nicole Scherzinger. I don't. She is a pussycat.
She's
doll,
German.
right?
That's why he probably likes her.
I am correct that she's. I don't know a lot of things about like music post 2000. Basically,
in the name Scherzinger, Heidi Klum, and Andrea Bocelli, you got three people from the Axis powers like countries. I think we know why there's
wow. Are you saying there's a wow? Okay, let's move on.
I would say there's a theme.
You haven't seen this yet, and I wanted to show this to you. These are the people responsible for actually doing the draw.
Oh, these are the people that get to mess up the names of the countries.
This is wild to me.
Oh,
so,
Eli
and
Manning.
this is why this is why you know this is programmed for an audience of one.
Okay? No, listen. You think this is a Trump list? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Brady, sure. Gretzky, yes. Okay, maybe even Aaron Judge, but not Shaq. Don't take Shaq from me.
No. I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about his politics, brother. I'm talking about that that Trump knows who he is. That's all this is. Trump knows who he is. Because if you did the normal thing, which is to throw the soccer greats up there, and obviously I would prefer as an American with this tournament happening in North America, I would prefer
you could get Alexi.
He's going to be there with Fox. He's going to be calling the event or broadcasting.
Okay, of Tom Brady, Wayne Gretzky, Aaron Judge, and Shaquille O'Neal, who's the first person to mess up the name of a country?
Ooh, that's a good. I feel bad, but it's probably Shaq. It's probably Shaq.
I think. Yeah. Do you think Aaron Judge went to college? Baseball should go to
Tom
college.
Brady was married to a Brazilian, so he at least has that going for him.
Yeah,
for him, right?
Wayne Gretzky's Canadian, so I mean he's used to some like Swedish and Scandinavian.
By the way, he's barely Canadian, and why is he looking at me like that in this photo? Like, what is that photo?
He looks like he wants to sell me a used car.
Absolutely, he it looks like a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on with that. Aaron Judge. I don't know much about Aaron Judge's background other than
what's the country whose name most likely is going to get messed up?
Eli Manning is the red carpet host. Eli Manning. Now, maybe Eli Manning's a secret soccer fan, and I haven't heard about it because there's been no profile in World Soccer Magazine. But when he's talking to people on the red carpet, is he going to know who they are? When Michelle Platini, is he invited? When Ruud Gullit, who hosts
not a chance.
When my mind, he'll know who David Beckham is, and David Beckham will probably be there.
Is Beckenbauer still alive?
Beckenbauer, no. Beckenbauer, no.
Klinsmann, their Kaiser died like last year, right?
Yes, yeah. We lost Beckenbauer.
Alex. Let's say Sir Alex is there. He ain't gonna know who that is.
Sir Alex is not making the trip, by the way. He's not coming
across New York. Oh no, it's not New York. It's DC. So
he's
got to be people who will get their visas cleared as well.
I mean, it could be people like Alan Shearer. It could be people like, give me a French Thierry Henry.
Right.
Does Eli Manning know who Thierry Henry is?
Oh, maybe they're in New York at the same time. They're both playing in New York sports. I bet you he knows who Thierry Henry is.
So
that's probably the one person you can name. He doesn't know who Rio Ferdinand is, though.
Those two guys have had an awkward conversation standing on a rooftop somewhere in Manhattan. That's probably true.
We're some agent put them both together to talk or something like that.
Okay, so Eli, maybe Thierry Henry, but there's going to be a lot of play. The Italians, does Eli Manning know it? Does he know who Alessandro Del Piero is? Come on, come on. No, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? And this is what I'm saying. You could have gotten some American or Mexican soccer greats. Now there aren't a lot of Canadian soccer greats, and certainly,
but red carpet hosts, you have a business personality. Eli Manning, for what you might say, he's entertaining.
I don't think that's what Jason is saying. He's saying those draw assistants, which on the radio today I called ball touchers about 50 times.
That's not what this is actually about. Listen, you can make the Trump thing. That's fine. What this is here is a representative of the four sports that are ahead of soccer in this country. And it's an attempt to bring, literally, it is a representative of the four sports that. It's to bring in the neutrals and the non-soccer people.
It can do that work. Absolutely can do that work. But you don't think that at FIFA, when Johnny Infantino, King Brown noser that he is, when he thinks about what do we want to do for the draw, which we've now moved to DC to curry favor with the guy in the White House, you don't think he's like, well, Trump doesn't know anything about soccer. So what we'll do is bring greats from four other sports that he does know to do the draw. Because again, why is this not about the soccer history of the United States, of Mexico? Mexico got nothing. We blanked Mexico. They blanked Mexico. What is going? And that's true. Eli Manning does have a piece of Gotham FC. Where's Mexico's representation? Where, like, even if you don't do with soccer, even if it's not Luis Hernandez, even if it's not Hugo Sanchez.
I'm assuming if you go back a screen.
You're assuming what?
There's a guy named Ramirez right there. Like, isn't he the representative?
No, because wait, what? So wait, hold on. You're saying Heidi Klum is representing Germany? By the way, Danny Ramirez.
I'm just saying, you said there's no Mexican. I don't know where his family's from.
Danny Ramirez, born in Chicago, is what I'm saying.
Maybe Mexican descent parents. I don't know.
You don't know, but you're assuming. You shouldn't be assuming based on the name. Ramirez.
I'm trying to find someone here to represent Mexico. It's the closest thing I can see.
I'm saying if you're going to do this thing with the four athletes, do Canelo Alvarez or something. Do something. I mean, this just feels wrong.
Okay, you never answered my question. What's the country most likely to trip up these guys when they have to say it out loud?
What's the country? There are 48 countries.
Name one. I got two off the top of my head. I don't think they'll be able to do.
Like pronounce?
Yeah. If when they see it, it's going to be like,
I mean, what's a good? Okay.
How about Curacao? What's the odds we get that right?
Curacao.
We might get states that Shaq spent a lot of time in Orlando and Florida, and there's a lot of blue curacao in the drinks down there.
Some of these guys have probably been to Curacao. What are you talking about?
Do you think they can say it though when they see it on the paper?
Yes. Yeah, it's not. I don't even think Curacao is I don't think that's the.
What about Paraguay? Do you think they get Paraguay right?
They'll say Paraguay, which is how most people would say it in this country. So, oh, by the way, one bit of entertainment we missed, and this is absolutely 100% programming for the Big Orange Man. YMCA by the Village People will be performed post-draw.
I'm so not watching this. I am so not watching this. Hey, someone just give me the cliff notes on who we get drawn with, because this is cluster, dude.
Well, it's at 9 a.m. Eastern, or 9 a.m. Pacific, your time. So 9 a.m. is the kickoff of this thing. So I don't know that you would be in a place to watch it anyway. Like, you probably have some stuff going on at 9 a.m.
I'll just be impressed if our dear leader can like stay awake through the whole thing.
That would be a surprise. I hope they don't let him talk. I hope they don't let him give a speech.
I hope they make him say the names of the countries.
Here's my title.
Shithole. They're not getting visas. Shithole.
Jay Rodius.
Been recently mentioned, that he's talked poorly about recently. Been in the World Cup. Is there any country that he's specifically outed as?
Did Venezuela make it?
No, Venezuela did not. Dang it. Venezuela's the weak sister of South American soccer.
I mean, Canada and Mexico. How about those two?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, is the president of Mexico coming to this?
I do not believe she will be there. No, I have not. Actually, I don't know. I was actually informed today by Franco Panizo that Don Garber is going to attend the draw ahead of the MLS Cup final, which is on Saturday in Fort Lauderdale. He is going to attend the draw and give the Major League Soccer State of the League address from DC, not in Miami, where he typically gives the State of the League address before the MLS
halftime or it's not halftime, right? He doesn't interview at halftime.
He usually does it a day ahead or day or two ahead.
But usually has an interview at halftime where he discusses some of the things that came up.
Yeah, exactly. And that he'll probably still do, because I imagine he's flying from DC to Fort Lauderdale. I mean, probably Saturday morning.
DC to Florida. There's a private jet that goes every weekend.
That is, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Right.
You can borrow that. I'm not sure exactly where. Anyway, the draw is happening Friday. I hope to be there. If nothing else, follow me on my social media, which I'm on Blue Sky. I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky. Follow me, and I'm not on any other ones. Instagram, nothing like that. So just Blue Sky. And maybe I'll post my travails trying to get in the building at the Kennedy Center for the World Cup draw. I'm hoping maybe Jonathan Tannewell can sneak me in.
How are you feeling, like, just draw wise? How are you feeling? Are you starting to get like, man, I think the odds are not in our favor? Do you feel like it's going to be something that's going to work out well for us? What's your general mood about it? I know you ran some test things.
I think it's going to be a mixed bag. I think it's going to be a little bit of bad, a little bit of good, and a little bit of bad. Like, I'll do one right now. I'm not going to show it on screen. I did that on Morning Kick Around today. If you want to go watch that. All right. So the one I just did, you tell me. Uzbekistan, Austria, and Ghana.
Stoked.
You're stoked.
Despite Ghana being our nemesis team
our bogey
a number of times. But I think we've gotten past that a little bit in recent years. So, I mean, I think that's a great lineup for us.
Yeah, I think that's
one of the group of life scenarios, I think, to be honest with you.
I saw some today I did that were like, oh,
you would expect to be number one coming out of that group. As a host country, especially.
Here's one that would be a hell of a lot harder. Scotland, Morocco, and Iraq.
Harder, but I still think you're expected to come out 2 there.
Well, so remember, 48 teams, round of 32 for the first knockout phase. It's going to be group winners, second place teams, and
select
number
third.
The highest ranked third place teams.
I think U.S. will still be expected to come out second in that. This can be a harder matchup with a lot of political storylines. I mean, hell, the Iranian team would not be able to get into the country to play us if that was the case.
I mean, I don't want to. I know that's all real stuff, but man, I can't even think about it.
I mean, I think Scotland will be up for any. I mean, we played Scotland last World Cup, right? It was Scotland and no, it was Wales. Excuse me, it was Wales.
Scotland hasn't made a World Cup in a very long time.
Like 96, I think. Yeah.
All right, how about this one? Oh, this one. See, this one's
there's a couple of mystery spots too. Like we don't know a couple of the European ones yet who could be in there.
and this one is filling in like guesses about some of this. Okay. So this one, for example, has Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, Switzerland, please no, and Ireland, who would have to win a playoff to get there.
I think Côte d'Ivoire is not the Côte d'Ivoire of the Drogba time period and stuff like that. It's still a good team with lots of talent, but I don't think it's quite the threat it once was. I still think the U.S. would be expected to come out 2 in that. Ireland again is. I think they've made 1 in the last 4 World Cups or something like that.
No, Ireland hasn't been in.
Is it longer?
Maybe 2002.
I might be getting confused with Wales again. I'm sorry. I apologize.
2002 was the tournament. Am I right about this?
Which is one when Thierry Henry denied them with a handball and kept them out on the goal line.
That was 2 cycles ago, I think, because obviously Henry's been retired for a while. But no, I think Ireland was in. They went to South Korea, Japan, because there's that movie that is. I have to find it and see if it's available because I'd love to watch it. That chronicles the fight that happened between Roy Keane and McCarthy. Yeah. I want to see that.
Was he sent home on that one?
He got sent home. Yeah, he got sent home as a whole mess for Ireland.
I think next to the France fallout a few years ago, that's one of the biggest World Cup drama pieces.
Yeah, I mean, the French are always good for a little bit of.
So far, you've done 3 matchups. I think 1 would be expected first, and the other 2 would be expected second. Yeah. So I think it's still the U.S. has there's a couple scenarios out there where it could be really, really dark. You could get Morocco and Italy or something like that.
Yes, you could. Yeah, you could.
I mean, things like that.
Just to comparison, so this one is Paraguay, Switzerland, and Iraq.
I mean, literally, we'd be so well prepared for that one. We've played 2 of those teams in our lead up.
Yeah.
And speaking of the lead up, let's talk about that for a second. The opponents have been listed for the games leading into the World Cup, the March friendlies, the first team of the May, I believe, window. I gotta say, thumbs up, right?
No, March, 2 in March. 2 in March. There's a May 31st date that remains open, and then June 6th is Germany.
Yeah. So, but of those 3, you're getting Portugal, Germany, and why am I blanking on the third one? Belgium, yes. I mean, combine that with Uruguay, Paraguay, Switzerland, South Korea, Japan. I mean, for a team that requires a lot of travel, for a team that wasn't getting any competitive fixtures for the last 4 years, U.S. Soccer has done well. You cannot be mad at U.S. Soccer for not getting the correct opponents to try to get the USA ready for this.
I'm going to say this fully confident, okay? And I know you're being naive, you're overrating this team or whatever people will say. I don't care. Certain segments of the U.S. men's national teamosphere or USMNT or USMNT Anon or whatever we call it. The United States is going to get out of the group. They're going to get out of the group. There's no doubt in my mind. They're getting out of the group. They're getting out of the group. Again,
I think it's a pretty good chance. Yes.
First place teams, second place teams, and 8 third place teams will be making it out of the group. Come on. It is very unlikely the United States.
I mean, we were confident in Copa America too, though, Jason.
No, I understand that, but I still think getting out of the group.
I think Pochettino's it's got this team in a different place than it was. The Copa America, Leagues Cup, Gold Cup. They seem to be hitting well right now, and there's a mentality kind of thing. And what I like about it, and this is going to sound weird to some people, especially people that are around for this tenure, I feel positive about this team the way I used to feel positive about Bob Bradley teams. And it's okay. Let me give some context to what I mean by that. A Bob Bradley team I rarely felt could beat a good team, but a Bob Bradley team I always felt could compete with a good team for a result.
I see.
A Bob Bradley team was very pragmatic. It fought hard. It wasn't going to have a lot of dynamism, but it was going to keep you in games for the most part. And hopefully you get that result. You get something go your way. This team is showing the fight of those teams, but on its day has the caliber of player high enough to beat a good team. And if you can get that fight element that they've gotten so far, to want to fight for the ball, to want to play for the team, and the level of talent that may show up on the day, I think this team, if they can pull that off, has a better chance than a lot of those teams under Bob Bradley.
Yeah, look, I mean, so much is dependent on, normally you'd say the draw, but again, I have no expectation they're going to fail to get out of the group. So getting out of the group, and then, but then obviously depends on how you get out of the group for your round of 32 matchup. And we're, unlike tournaments past with 32 teams, and you go, oh, round of 16 is the achievement that is the bare minimum, right? Getting out of the group and being in the round of 16 is the bare minimum. And then everything else is like, okay, now we're striving for more. We're trying to reach that level that we haven't hit since 2002. This one is win a round of 32 game and get to the round of 16. Like, it's the same level. It's just there's an extra level of knockout between you and round of 16 now. And that's the bare minimum. At home, it's probably not. It's got to be better. But in a normal World Cup, that's what it would be. And with 48 teams, it just makes it a little bit different. So finish high in the group so you avoid a powerhouse in the round of 32.
Well, the interesting thing about where you see where Pochettino has this team, where the way the pool's shaping up, there are obviously some guys who have come on the scene in the last year, the Arstons, the Freemans, the Lunas, stuff like that. But in the end, it is shaping up to be Greg Berhalter had the right players pretty much last time in the pool. But the difference is, I think those players had made the pool and felt, and there was a bit of entitlement, like it was theirs. Yeah. Where now Pochettino's gotten the same guys. Berhalter and him have evaluated the pool very similarly and come out with a lot of the same players in the end. But the way that Pochettino has now made them earn it, everyone, so Gino Des, Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Tim Weah, they all have to earn it, and they have had to earn it in the last year. Whereas you never felt Berhalter made them earn it. It was their spot out of like, they're the best player, so it's their spot. And I think they felt that way and they knew that. Whereas Pochettino's like, you may be the best player, but you got to earn it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this is one of those situations where the narrative was fairly on point, because sometimes we make this shit up, right? I mean, we may not be English media level of insane, but we're insane about our national team sometime. And we build up these huge narratives and we draw conclusions, and we're jumping to this and that as a way to explain why the team's not playing to the standards that we have set, despite the fact that, this team has never really been a world beater in the first place. But this feels like it was pretty accurate, that there was a culture of entitlement, that there were some guys who thought, I'm a national teamer. That's it. I'm done. It's like getting inducted to the mafia. I'm in the mafia now. Now, the problem about the mafia is you can get whacked at any moment if you cross the wrong person. And that feels like maybe what Pochettino did. He came in, he shook things up, and he changed the way that people
I think we should prepare ourselves, though. There will be one big name that will be left off the roster.
Probably true.
I feel that's going to be the case.
I'll tell you right now, and I'm not always a consumer of this stuff because, again, a lot of it's meant to just fire people up. And I hope we're not like that. I hope I don't do that on my other stuff as well. Like, you don't just say shit to say shit and get people, hot take culture is insane right now. And there's some people in media that I think have fallen into the trap of hot take culture. It's just the way that they do things now. They got to do the hottest take. I mean, it was pointed out to me by Eric Winalda that a lot of the former national teamers that are now in the media and making podcasts, they were firing Poach 6 months ago. They were ready to get out of here. You stink. You're the wrong guy. And now they're all like, oh, get all the cultural change he's brought. He's doing such a great job. To me, so they were talking, I saw a clip. Stu Holden, Landon Donovan, imagine that Tim Howard was there. I don't know who else. Weston McKennie. Weston McKennie is the guy on notice. He's got to be the guy that's like, okay, what's my role in this team? Am I bringing in enough? He's been in shape, and he's been playing for Juve. Juve going through their own stuff. But maybe
they won their last two. I think they've won 4 of their last 5 since the new coach.
Yeah, maybe. They just won the Coppa Italia, I think, midweek.
They won the game, not the Coppa Italia itself.
They won in the Coppa Italia. They won a game in the Coppa Italia, right? The thing about McKennie, though, is I'm not sure that it's 100% about he's not good enough or he was entitled or he hasn't shown up. I think it's also about, I don't know that he fits the team the way that Pochettino wants to play.
I think Weston McKennie needs to be nervous about how good Tanner Chessman has been looking. And I'll say this. I think Weston McKennie is the best one-touch passer in our team. I really believe that. When you watch him play for Juventus, the reason why he keeps having a starting spot in that team is because his one-touch passing is very, very good. He is very good passing out of pressure. I don't think he's as good going forward with the ball as a Musa or someone like that, or even a Reina or a Luna. I don't think he's good defensively as an Adams, or maybe even Tessman. But there is something to be said for the way that people play into him as a pivot and the way the balls move off him. He's very, very good at one-touch passing. And if you don't believe me, go watch the Juventus games. If you're not watching games for Juventus, this may not sound weird to you, but if you watch how they use him, he's rarely in that front line, even though he's a striker. He's rarely in the defense, even when he's a defender. He's just right in that middle area just to combine. And I think that's where he can be useful to the U.S., but I think Tanner Tessman may be the best all-around midfielder that we have right now. He's not great at anything, but he's not bad at anything either. He's very good at a lot of things.
So this is the thing. McKennie's in excellent form, right? This is a coach for whom that only matters a little bit. This is a coach for whom, you're playing well at your club. That's going to get you noticed. And obviously it's better to have an in-form player than an out-of-form player, but he's also going to take the guys he thinks fits the team. And again, I've tossed out this attempt to try to understand Pochettino and his selections for rosters at this point. Like I've just tossed it out. Like I'm not even going to chase that dragon. I'm just going to let Poach do Poach. And then we'll see, because he's not being judged on the guys he picks. He's being judged on the games he plays, on the wins he collects, and the points he gets, on what happens in the World Cup. So for the moment, and I don't feel comfortable with it all the time, right? This is an imperfect leader. And I do think everybody's imperfect, but he's an imperfect leader. But for the time being, I kind of had to put my faith in the man and say, okay.
I think his results, especially over the last 6 fixtures, have spoken for themselves. But where I think I would like to see a difference in terms of Poach's style is that I don't think he's ever very clear on what his plan is. For like 2 years ago, he came in and said, hey, don't judge me by shit. I'm going to do nothing but tinker for up until November of the summer before the fall, winter before the World Cup. Okay. I think we all make us uneasy, but I don't think at any point he laid out to us that I'm not going to see we're not going to see his starting in his best 11.
He doesn't feel responsible to us for that. And I also don't think he wants his players.
Every coach has to be somewhat responsible to the fans.
I don't think he wants his players to ever feel comfortable. Like if you say I'm tinkering, then the players go, okay, he's tinkering. If I get called up now,
that's fine. But then he can't also be, he also has, I feel, resentment at times for the fan base who's not being as patient as he would like. You can't have it both ways.
Well, yeah, maybe.
You either bring us in on the plan of what you're thinking, or don't be mad when we feel like we don't understand what's going on.
I suppose that's fair on some level, but I don't know. I don't like the way he's handled the media part of it sometimes and the fan part of it sometimes. And I saw he was at an event today in DC. I was on the radio, so I wasn't able to attend, but I know Charlie Boom and John Tannenwald were in attendance, and he was one of those fireside chat, small room interview things. And he was talking about the fans, and he was talking about like trying to get more support for this national team. And remember, they dragged him out to Columbus, or they dragged him to the Ohio State game.
Anyone who goes to Columbus is getting dragged there, right?
No, come on. They got good craft beer.
Okay.
No, Columbus is what are you talking about? Columbus is a nice place.
Not Columbus, Ohio is what I'm talking about.
Sure. Okay. I'm going to read you some quotes here. Again, Charles Bohm.
Nikki lives there, for God. Did I tell you I played Fortnite with Nikki the other night for a while?
No.
We're hanging out without you.
Oh, you guys left me out.
You're in cruise.
Greetings from DC Studio Theater, where Telemundo is hosting a fireside chat featuring Andres Cantor and several other soccer luminaries. Pochettino talking to Miguel Guritz. Pochettino on the interpersonal dynamics of his craft. I think it's about to identify quickly, to have the capacity to read quick who's in front of you, because if not, it's not natural. And when it's not natural, it is wrong. All the players have different pace, more closed, more open. You need to give the time and give the distance. The player dictates how close we want to be with you. This is just him talking about being a man manager. Asked in Spanish about his message to Latinos in the U.S. with hyphenated identities, Poch asks for their support, starting with Portugal and Belgium in March, stressing how special it is how much it helps the players, quote, when the energy flows from the fans, especially in the difficult moments.
Energy from the fans, from the lemons, all that comes together.
He was talking about in Spanish at that point. Then he switched to English and he said, it's not a coincidence that the team performed against Paraguay. And why? Because if you see the crowd was amazing in Philadelphia and in Tampa was amazing too. The players can get that energy.
It goes both ways though. One of the reasons those fans have that energy and they're showing up is because the window before US looked good. If the product's looking good, people are going to show up. It's not that US fans don't want to go. Now, there is a segment of US fans, though, that can't afford what's going on in soccer these days, from the World Cup to these games, these friendlies. Oh, yeah, there you go. From Trooper Barry in the chat, says, how are the fans supposed to support the team in difficult moments when the cheapest tickets are hundreds of dollars? And affordability is a buzzword in the US these days. And
I heard that's a hoax. You didn't hear that?
It's a Democrat hoax. You're right.
Yeah, Democrat hoax. Made it up.
And then UEFA comes out, I think today, and talks. They won't have dynamic pricing for the Euros.
They are counter
the people's champion. They are people's champion.
They are subtweeting FIFA, and it is crazy. It is interesting to watch that battle continue to unfold. But I mean, look, yes, that is a factor here in the support. This World Cup has taken on a lot of different dynamics that I didn't expect when we were awarded the tournament. And that's partly because of politics, and it's partly because of pricing, and it's partly because of many, many other things. The size of the tournament being 48 teams and all those things. But man, if this is not an opportunity to boost the sport of soccer on a massive level, I mean, there has to be a full effort. And
it is, but unlike 94, where a 17-year-old kid was able to afford a ticket. 17 years old. I could afford a ticket. That's not going to be the World Cup for my 16-year-old. My 16-year-old next summer.
Lemonade?
He won't be able to afford a ticket.
No.
He wouldn't be able to go with his friends to a game or another.
No, absolutely not.
It is a tournament.
World Cup tickets.
It's a tournament for the elite. It is not a tournament for the people. Yeah. And that is unfortunate. When it comes to the United States.
This is why I think ultimately this is going to be a tournament of watch parties, a tournament of local events, a tournament of big screens in open spaces.
I've already set the expectations for my kids when they say, are we going? I'm like, sorry, bud, I would love to, but no, we're going to a watch party somewhere instead. And I think you'll have more fun.
I'm somehow blessed. Obviously I work in this business and there's a chance I'll be able to go to games because of work. I wouldn't buy tickets. I'm telling you, I cannot justify spending that money. Not when there are other things in my life and other things my family needs that money could go towards. So if I go, it's going to be to cover the tournament. And I'm kind of in this lucky space that if I was a civilian, if I wasn't covering the tournament, if I wasn't working in soccer, I got a 17-year-old who does not give a flying shit. He asked me, how was your show, Dad? I'm like, oh, great. What'd you talk about? Soccer. We'll talk about this thing. And it's, oh, okay. He doesn't know, doesn't care. And I have a 4-year-old who's just not, he might ask, Papa, can we go to a game one day? But he doesn't know what the World Cup, he doesn't have that concept.
It's funny, the difference in that my son, who's not playing soccer right now, but has played his whole life, was playing like select in the summer and stuff like that. He was asking me about like some American players the other night, and I was like, oh yeah, and Gio played. He goes, oh, where's Gio at now? And I said, Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's like, oh. He goes, is that the team with the diamond and the blood and the stripes? I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, how do you know what Mönchengladbach is? He goes, FIFA, Dad. Like when I pick Dortmund, I have to go right. I always go one past them, and I accidentally go to Borussia Mönchengladbach, and I see it all the time.
Yeah, they're the ones that get called Borussia. The other one, Dortmund, just gets called Dortmund. They don't even get called.
It's
Borussia.
Just funny that like how much European geography he knows and cities he knows just from FIFA. Like, and then I said like, oh yeah, and then Tim Weah's with Marseille, and he goes like, he's like, I'm not, yeah, Marseille. He's like, oh, that's the blue M with the star, right? I was like, yeah, that's the blue M with the star. Like, it's just crazy. Wow, the teenagers, like, he's not playing right now. He doesn't watch any soccer, but he plays FIFA.
Doesn't watch it, right?
Yeah. He plays FIFA, and he's still in the zeitgeist.
But it's not called FIFA anymore, right?
I don't know. It's called
EAFC, I think is what it's called. I think that's right. Am I wrong? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I don't play it anymore. I still have FIFA 18 on a computer that I haven't played in a long time, but that used to be the one like thing I could do, and I don't play Fortnite, so I didn't get left. I didn't even. You couldn't have left me out if you wanted to, because I don't play Fortnite.
Me and Mickey Soup and Salad were playing as Simpson characters, like dressed like Homer and Ned Flanders, shooting guns.
You guys are cool. You're so cool, you guys. That's very cool.
Don't hate just because you weren't there with us.
Okay, year in review for the U.S. men's. Do you want to relive the year, Jared?
Not really. Maybe just the last 2 months. That's the only part I want to relive.
Starting in January, the United States beat Venezuela 3-1. Do you remember who scored the goals at Chase Stadium?
I'm guessing Diego Luna got one because it was Cat Cupcake. Did he get one?
No. Jack McGlynn.
Okay.
Big Pat Ajamang.
Oh, Ajamang? Yeah, that's insane.
And Matko Miljevic. Remember when Matko Miljevic was like hot shit for a minute because he had like sauce? He came in with some sauce, and they're like, he's the guy. Then they beat Costa Rica 4 days later. Goals from Brian White, Caden Clark, and Pat Ajamang again.
Caden Clark, did he just get moved to Dynamo? Or is he at the Dynamo?
I
forgot. Never mind. I'm not sure.
Caden Clark is a DC United player. They traded for him this year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who you're thinking of, but Jack McGlynn's with the Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, I know who McGlynn is.
Okay, maybe that's what maybe that's what you're thinking of or not. I don't know.
Not sure.
All right. Moving on. So that was January. That was camp, whatever it's called, that now is dead. It's been killed. It's over. I guess they're doing it in December. We're doing it.
There's just be in December instead.
Well, not this year, but next.
What are you gonna call it? Camp Fruitcake instead? Since it's December, what?
Somebody already made that joke. I think we have to move on. We lost to Panama in the Nations League on March 20th. That one was at SoFi. This was a bad period.
That was a low moment.
That was pretty bad. We lost to Canada in that third place game at SoFi. Moment. Pat Ajamang scored in that game. 2-1. We lost to Jesse Marsh. Was that the game he was suspended for?
Perhaps.
I can't remember.
Yeah. And then the next game, I think, is when what's his name he played what's his name from Bayern Munich, and he got hurt.
Fonzie Davies.
Yeah, in the final, I think.
After we got bounced from the Nations League and everything. Oh, Camp Candy Cane's pretty good, actually. Yeah. That's pretty good. We got bounced from the Nations League, and then we went on to a friendly against Turkey at Pratt and Whitney Stadium at Rentschler Field in East Hartford, Connecticut. Do you remember that game at all?
Yeah, I remember Yildiz scored against us, and we were all like, how come he's playing in this game, but McKenny's not? They both had...
Arda Guler scored against us, not Yildiz.
Oh, Yildiz played, though. Sorry, Yildiz played.
You might have, that's what it was. But Arda Guler of Real Madrid is also an incredible talent. Yes, Yildiz did also play, and McKenny did not. He was not available for that tournament.
World Cup.
Yeah, capped out, right. And we lost 2-1, and Jack McGlynn scored in the first minute of that game. We thought it was all going to be good, and then Turkey found 2 goals. Then we got trounced by the Swiss.
Switzerland, yeah.
Swiss, 4-0. We got trounced by the Swiss at Geodis Park in Nashville. And that was that period of time when it was like, was that
the low point, or was like leading into the Gold Cup low point with all the players not there and stuff like that? Like,
that was around the same time, right? So those are the games that led into the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
So we lost to Switzerland 5 days before we beat Trinidad and Tobago 5-0 in the Gold Cup. Goals from Malik Tillman, 2 of them. Remember, that was his tournament.
Yeah.
Malik Tillman, Pat Ajamang scored, Brendan Aronson scored, and Haji Wright, Eric's boy Haji Wright, scored in a 5-0 victory. We're having fun. Then we beat Saudi Arabia 1-0. I remember that game being very tight, very tense, very difficult. The U.S. got a goal from Chris Richards, who was player of the match in that game. I was also like to come up for Chris, the Gold Cup period.
That tournament, yeah.
Yeah, had a big role in just making us feel better about things.
I was like, okay, we're okay if Tim Ream and Chris Richards are in the World Cup. We're screwed if we go far past that.
June 22nd, so 3 days later, we beat Haiti just 2-1. Malik Tillman and Pat Ajamang scored in that game for the United States. So we move on to the knockout phase. Do you remember the Costa Rica game? The penalty kick shootout against Costa Rica.
Matt Freese made his name on that.
Matt Freese made his name in that game. Diego Luna scored in that game, and Max Arfston scored in that game as well.
That's where Matt Freese became a thing.
Matt Freese did become and obviously like there was a lot of questions around goal. I don't think that anybody's like, oh, Matt Freese, he's the savior, but at least somebody emerged. We then beat Guatemala in the next round. Diego Luna scored twice in that game, 4th minute and 15th minute. I remember Guatemala was pushing, and for some reason we were on our back foot against Guatemala trying to get the equalizer, but ultimately we held on. Then the Gold Cup final. Remember the Gold Cup final?
I will in a second.
2-1, we lost to Mexico in Houston, Texas.
Yes.
Chris Richards scored the fourth minute, but you got a goal from Raul Jimenez. He was going off in that game. Raul Jimenez was
good game.
Yeah, and Edson Alvarez scored as well in that match. And we lost the Gold Cup to Mexico, which is never fun.
So what was lower, that point or the Turkey Switzerland games?
Well, I think the Gold Cup was fine for what it was, but again, we didn't have Pulisic,
didn't expect to win it.
Well, no, but that's only because the roster wasn't anything close to a full strength roster, and there was at least some thought that we're going to have a bunch more guys that we would consider first choice in the build up to the World Cup next year.
Anthony Robinson either, no Gio Reyna with the Club World Cup, Christian.
Was with Dortmund. Yeah, it was with Dortmund. I don't know if he would have been called in. Following the Gold Cup on July 6th, we come back for the September camp, and we lose to South Korea 2-0 in the first of 2 games. Remember, Son scored in that game, fresh off of his move. I think
you were overmatched in that game.
Yeah, well, it did. Yeah, we did not play well in that game at all, and the stats
we got outworked in that game. I think, in my opinion,
is that how you view that we got outworked?
And I think that's the last game I remember us being outworked in.
We had 17 total shots to their 5. We outshot them on target 5-4. We just didn't create any enough danger. And then things start to turn. Then it's the Japan game, which Japan rotated. Remember, they had played, I think, Mexico a couple days before, and they rotated, and we got a goal from Zendejas. I remember that was like the side volley.
Oh, yeah.
And then Falarin Balogun scored in that game as well. I think that was the assist from Christian Pulisic on the Balogun goal. And suddenly we're like, oh, we're cooking a little bit. Something is going on. October, we come back, we play Ecuador, we draw them 1-1. It was a Balogun goal to save the draw after
Ecuador, who hadn't been scored on
they hadn't been scored on a very long time.
Yeah.
Ener Valencia scored for Ecuador. He's 112 years old, Ener Valencia at this point. Same window, October, the Australia game. And Australia did what you expect Australia to do, and Haji Wright.
Hey, that's why you play a team like Australia, because you're going to reach in the first round. You're likely to get one team that's going to play that bunker defense.
This is right. This feels right, by the way. I think that I'm pretty sure that Nate's got this on point, that things did start to change when Pochettino switched to a back 3, right? That's
to be fair. I felt the same way when he played a back 3 in October of last year when Anthony Robinson played more in the midfield. I don't know if you remember that game.
I do remember that game.
The last games Anthony Robinson played with us, before not featuring for quite some time due to injury. We played that 3-back system and we went away from it once Anthony Robinson could be brought in, until Max Arfston started to show that he could play that position and do that. We since have gone back to it. But I think Pochettino, he was thinking with his lineup way back then, that given what he had, the wing backs were going to be a thing, just with envisioning Anthony Robinson being in that position.
Yeah. The game against Australia not only kind of reinforced that this back 3 system was going to be the way forward, but they fought back. They were down a goal in that game in the 19th minute from Boss, and they had to score twice to get the win. And Pochettino started talking up the mentality of the team at that point. So from October to November in this last window, which of course were 2 pretty strong wins. So the 2-1 against Paraguay, and then obviously the insane 5-1 against Uruguay that I don't think anybody saw coming. You thought maybe they would compete just because the attitude was still good.
Hoping they were.
But this lineup, I mean, Freeze and goal, fine. He might be your number 1. Trusty Mackenzie Freeman, Tolkien, Berhalter, Morris, Dest.
I was surprised at the amount of rotations for this game.
Luna, Tillman, not Malik Tillman, Timothy Tillman, and Haji Wright. And they went off. Obviously, the Berhalter set piece magic to kind of set the tone.
Yeah.
Which, maybe that'll never, ever work again. But it was nice to have it that one time.
It's very conceivable. I mean, and I don't know if you know this, but the gentleman I'm about to talk about had a great game this weekend as well. Jonathan Klinsmann may make this roster. And you would potentially have 2 children of former coaches on this team.
Yeah.
Jonathan Klinsmann this weekend had a shutout, penalty save, and assist in his game for, I think it's Brescia. Is that who he plays for in Serie B?
Yeah, something like
team
that.
He's
in Serie B. Come on.
But playing very well there. Like, and Klinsmann, I mean, Push doesn't seem to mind like where you play. He's bringing to get in.
No,
he's giving chances.
That's fair. I don't know. There are some guys who have dropped off that I thought were going to be ahead of him.
Not even on this radar.
I guess not. I mean, Patrick Schulte.
I like Patrick Schulte.
Celentano, Calendar.
Would that you think that's the first time that was to happen? Do you think there's ever been a World Cup team that featured two sons of former coaches?
Apparently, he said Cesena, not Ed.
Excuse me, Cesena. Sorry,
yeah. Two sons.
I bet you like an Italian team or something. Italians are really incestuous with their coaches and kids and stuff like that.
Maybe, yeah, that sounds about right.
There's Maldini, of course, that would have been because Maldini coached as well. His dad coached the team, didn't he?
That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right. Yes, I think that's
maybe
true.
There may have been another one at the time or something like that.
Yeah, if somebody can find that, that's pretty interesting.
Maybe a Cruyff or something, maybe in Amsterdam or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of that second generation stuff happening in this era. So, look, I think what grade do you give the year? As the last year before the World Cup, I mean, there's going to be those friendlies we talked about already. There's going to be some build-up, but what grade do you give Pochettino for what happened in 2025?
Man, it depends on what the syllabus was, like what were the requirements.
But I think if he tried to tear it up 6 times.
I'm going to give you my baseline of what I feel I'm grading him on.
Okay.
The ultimate goal is to be ready for the 2026 World Cup, correct? That's the goal.
I would assume that was the goal.
So if you think about where we were at the beginning of the year versus where we finished, and obviously the reason I'm phrasing it that way, because at the end of the year, you're 365 days closer to when the World Cup's going to be.
Yeah.
He has us peaking at the best time of the year right now.
Yeah.
That's undisputed.
Sure.
Now, whether he can keep them peaking through the next 6 months, we'll see, and remains to be seen. But if the goal is to get him the best results as close to the World Cup as possible and have the most momentum, you have to give him A-.
Wow, I don't know.
Because it's a finite system to me. It's a binary thing pretty much when it comes to this, because either they're prepared or they're not prepared. Either they're playing well or they're not playing well.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess you can't.
It's more pass fail maybe that's me than
you can't punish him. Maybe it's pass fail. You can't really punish him for not living up to whatever our expectations were.
If it was all tinkering going to get into this point, if it was all tinkering to get to this point. And listen,
you also can't do that thing where you're like, well, but he's got to figure out a way to get McKennie in this team, or how is Tyler Adams going to really fit in, or what does Christian Pulisic's role look like?
He's made that argument null by having Tim Tillman step up, by having Christian Roldan step up. Like every single guy he's called on, MLS players.
Yeah,
MLS players coming in to play against Uruguay and wiping the floor with them.
I think
he's put his money where his mouth is, because he said it didn't matter where you play. He said that.
I think he's like broken up the paradigm that we've been always used to, which did kind of always fit that model that Berhalter, you accused Berhalter of using, or not accused, pointed out Berhalter used, which is, here's my guys. These are my guys. And as long as they're healthy and playing, they're going to be my guys. So, we got a tournament coming up. Well, Christian and Weston and Tyler and whoever's healthy. Tyler wasn't for so long, but you know what I'm talking about. Jedi and whoever. Those are my guys. They're going to come in and we're going to go play some national team games and hopefully we do well. And Pochettino does this. After every camp, he takes his roster, he balls it up, and he throws it in the trash. And then he goes back and he looks, and he watches, and he gets notes, and maybe he attends some games. And then when the deadline's coming up for the new roster, he goes, okay, well, I like these guys. And it has nothing to do with the last roster.
Pochettino has done in terms of grading his year, what he has done is he has become my 15-year-old child.
Okay.
And what my 15-year-old child does is that he screws up the whole first part of the trimester, gets all the work done, and pulls it out in the end at the very end. It's like, well, was the grade at the end. Doesn't matter that I didn't turn in these 4 assignments. I got them made up and turned in by the end of the season, by the end of the trimester.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
At the end, the grade is what matters. All the college is going to care about is what the grade was, right? Not how you got it. And I think that's kind of the way this is. And now, if you're trying to grade him on every little thing that happened all year long, it's like a C. But if you're realistic about what the job isn't to win against Turkey in May. The job's not even to win the Gold Cup. It's not. The job is to get the best team possible ready and informed for the World Cup.
Well, that's been the frustrating thing.
I can't say he hasn't done that at the nearest point possible to the World Cup.
You're right. He's being paid $6 million, with some of it coming from a pretty problematic billionaire, to do things at the World Cup, not to do things in the Gold Cup, not to do things in friendlies, not to do things in the Nations League. None of that matters. Now, you could argue that it benefits Pochettino to do well in those tournaments because he gets more games, which means he gets more data, which means he gets more opportunity.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. It's just data. I was agreeing with you. Yeah.
And maybe he just doesn't think that way. Right? Again, everything is in service of 2026. Nothing that happens this year matters.
And beyond the results, your best players now know they have to perform or they don't play. Yeah. Can you ever say that was the case under Greg Berhalter?
I don't. I want to say
the tier one players.
Oh yeah, no. If Pulisic was healthy, he was coming in.
Let's list what tier one players in 2022 were. Yeah, were Christian Pulisic, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie. Who am I missed? He wasn't playing. Tim Weah,
Jenna Robinson.
Jenny Robinson. Let's use those five.
Tim Weah was in there.
Let's use those five.
Yep.
Do you feel every one of those players now feels that if they don't perform, their position's on the line? We're just talking about Weston McKennie not going.
Yeah. Every one of them feels like they have to do something.
In addition to getting the results down the stretch, he has instituted a culture, and that's one of the things that he was tasked with as well.
Well, this is why it was frustrating, because his remit, as he saw it, was to get ready for the World Cup and like put a team on the field in 2026 that could do well at the World Cup. And he doesn't think in a linear way like a lot of us do about this team, where we treat it like a club team. That's what American soccer fans do. We treat the U.S. men's national team like it's a club team. And it's clearly not. It's very different. The activity of playing international soccer is very different. You don't have to be. Now, Spain maybe blew this up a little bit, and we've seen some other teams, but you do not have to be the best football playing side to do well at the World Cup. You have to have a mentality. You have to have certain ways to score goals, whether that's individual brilliance, counterattacking opportunities, set pieces. You have to have something, but you don't have to be ticky-tacking the ball around the park. You don't have to have some system that requires us to play patterns. You just need to get guys who in that moment believe they can win a soccer game and go out and work together to do so. That's it.
Let's address this question from Nate in the chat. He says, okay, let's get real for a second. Has he just been incredibly lucky, or has there really been a strategy all along? Here's the thing. He could be getting lucky.
He could be.
But here's the thing, though. We'll never know, and the tie goes to him because the results are there. It's like, for example, is Alex Ferguson a great coach, or did he get lucky that the 92 class was amazing?
You cannot punish Mauricio Pochettino for an imagined thing, which is, oh, maybe he didn't mean this. There's no way to know. I mean, maybe
it helps. Nate may even be right. Maybe it is all luck because he never told us in the damn press conferences all year long that this was his plan.
That was the strategy. I do think there's a strategy to that. Now, is it an overarching long-term down the road? I'm thinking ahead that long. No, I just think his strategy is, I'm going to build a culture that exists no matter who I call up. And every single player that gets called up is going to understand this is what we're asking of you. And it's not about whether you can connect 12 passes before we take a shot. It's not about it is more about that next man up. I hate to be cliche about that, but it is like it again, it's a fighting spirit thing. Now, I also thought in the beginning that there was a capitulation level, like because he was tinkering or because we were throwing out stuff that wasn't working. It was like, well, you're undermining our culture now because it looks like you don't give a shit about winning, and I care about winning. And I think it's important that you build a culture of winning. And I don't know. Again, maybe he's just zen like that. Maybe the lemons help him out, but he's like, just paciencia. Wait, just patience. It's coming. Or maybe he never knew, but he just didn't know any other way to do it. I guess I was going to say that he's broken up this paradigm. Now, you could say you could get real aggressive about it, like Riverside Grove. I see the strategy to eliminate the shite culture Berhalter created of privileged brats. You can view it that way.
Sure.
But again, I think that U.S. men's national team history is much more in line with what Berhalter did than it is in line with what Pochettino does, which is to say, you build a core group of players, you keep them together, you go from tournament to tournament to tournament. Some of them will drop off because of form or age. You'll bring in some young guys, but it's always kind of like this moving window of players that go through time. Whereas Pochettino's like, no, this is la selección. This is whoever in the moment is the players that can help us win games. And I do not care where you play.
It's a passion first mentality.
Basically, right? It's in the moment. It's again disconnecting what you're doing in this window, in this camp, from what happened in the last one. That does not matter.
And you know who else has drank the Kool-Aid? If it's not me, it's all the fringe players that were on the field against Uruguay.
Yeah, this is how you build the culture.
And because they have drank it, guess who else has to drink it? Those 5 people we talked about earlier.
Sure. Yes.
Borhalt, sorry, the Adams, the McKennie, the Anthony Robinson, the Pulisic, and the Weah. They have to drink it because everyone down below has. And you know what? They've gotten the result high as shit on that Kool-Aid. You know? So whether these guys believe it or not, they better freaking fake it like it's my wife on a Friday night.
Wow, that's unnecessary. So you got to bring her into this. No, I mean, both.
Not fair to me.
Oh, is that the wrong
drop? Not fair to me is that I know.
Jay Rodius.
Anyway, it's been a wild ride this year, and I have no idea what to expect next year, and I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, there was no universe, none of the millions of extra worlds that exist on various timelines where the United States enters 2026 is anything other than maybe they can get a couple rounds into the knockout phase. Like there was never our ceiling is our ceiling. It remains that until we prove otherwise.
Yeah, and I think when you go, let's say the U.S. makes it out of the group. Let's say they make it out of the second round, and you're in a quarterfinal game. Is that what quarterfinal? In this is being teams.
You would have to win.
Let's say we're in the second round of the knockout phase, and we've got a Netherlands in front of us. I 100% believe that if he looks in the eyes of those 5 players and doesn't see it, Christian Roldan will get that start.
Sure.
You know, absolutely. Someone else will get that start because he knows that despite however good the team is across the field, if he doesn't see the belief in the eyes of those guys, he knows he can go down the bench, you know? So granted, listen, maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid and I'm happy to, because you know what? It feels good. Yeah, it feels better than I felt 4 months ago, 5 months ago, 8 months ago.
100%.
I'd rather have this feeling and be a little bit rose-colored glasses than feel the way I did before.
You and here's the thing. I think he is now. I said this about Faith, and I definitely think I'm too inside of this. I'm too inside of this not to be like, oh, is that the right choice? I don't know about him, and this is what we do. But the man has earned the benefit of the doubt at this point. Now, because the only real quote unquote competition in which he had a chance to win a trophy that would like be some measure of that is the Nations League that happened in freaking March, because the Gold Cup gets tossed out because the team he had and the players he didn't have. Because of that, there's nothing to judge him against other than friendlies. And right now, based on what happened against Uruguay, you have to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. You have to say, he picks the players, and I'm okay. Let's go. Those are the guys you think can do it. Let's go. Let's see.
The Uruguay game made me eat humble pie because when that roster came out, I'm like, what is he doing? He just had a great game against Paraguay. Why would you mess with this? And the team ran him off the field. Like serious professionals, serious pedigrees, run off the field. Serious manager on the other side of the technical area.
Yeah, sure.
Sitting on a bucket. Ice chest.
He likes to sit on it's a cooler. We call that a cooler. You call that an ice chest? It's a cooler, right?
Ice chest.
Ice chest?
That's like pop and soda. Is this like pop and soda where East Coast, West Coast thing?
It might be. Ice chest.
Yeah, you never heard that?
It's a cooler. It's an ice
both.
chest?
I've heard both. I don't know.
I think I've always heard
Take it to the chat. Take it to the chat. If you were talking about that, if it was 4th of July and you're having a barbecue at your house, pool
if
party.
Marcelo Bielsa is at your house, is he sitting on an ice chest?
Someone said, hey, I need a beer. Yeah, there's some over there
Marcelo,
in the blank.
Marcelo, pásame una cerveza, por favor. What is he getting up off of?
Grab me a beer out of the blank. How you fill in that blank?
I mean, said they. So they.
First person's already straddling the fence like you. It's both.
No.
In the Rockies, we say cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cooler. I got a cooler from Super Berry.
It is. Cooler, ice chest. Same syllables, 2 words though.
2 words, same syllable. I think of ice chest as a refrigerator, but a specific kind of old timey refrigerator.
Ice box. No, they call it ice box.
Oh, that's right, ice box.
Yeah,
not ice chest. Okay.
See, a cooler is portable, and ice chest is where you store it.
Where you store what? The ice?
I don't know.
That's a good question. Wow. Man, this I didn't realize we had this okay.
Yeah, this is like that green dress, like that gold dress, blue dress, or whatever that was back in the day. You know?
Do you call it a sub or a hoagie?
Is it the soccer versus football of
what's the other one? What's the other one of those?
Was that
people call like a sub? Some people call it like a hoagie, and then some people call it. There's another name for them. Grinder. There's a place where they call them grinders.
Yeah. Grinders, but it's something else to me.
See. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing you play with the monkey dances, right? Isn't that a grinder? Is that a grinder? What's that called?
You know what? If they're a grinder for women should be called hoagie.
Jay Rodius.
That's maybe the smartest joke you've ever made. Somehow.
Smartest but dumbest.
Oh man, it's both at the same time. That's the genius of Jay Rodius. Man. All right. Oh, God,
on the hour mark too. Left on a high, just like Costanza.
I've had a hell of a day. I did a morning kick around. Go support that show, please. It's very cool. We're having fun. We're doing a thing called Countdown to Kickoff, where we're partnering with USL teams that are getting ready to play that haven't even started yet. They're just on their path to becoming professional teams, and we're working with them to tell their stories, get behind the scenes, little show and tell. So be part of that morning kick around.
Follow my man on Blue Sky because he might get into the
Find out if I get into the FIFA World Cup draw.
He might get to high five the president.
I will protest outside. No, I won't do that. I'll march around. No, I'll go get a cup of coffee and then talk about it. I don't know what I'm going to do actually. But follow me on Blue Sky. Davis Jason is where you can find that. The radio show. I never hype up the radio show. It's corporate America, Sirius XM, but
it's a character on the show. But at this point,
who is what?
Your show is like a character on our show at this point. It's like the third member of our show we talk about.
Because sometimes I call you the wrong name. Is that what you're saying?
You haven't done it in a while. Congrats.
No,
you didn't even mention MLS Cup, dude. Should we do
we went an hour.
Should we do a quick
Miami's gonna win. Miami's gonna win.
I don't know if I agree with you.
No, you think Vancouver could do it?
You want to do 10-minute bonus? You got time?
Sure, why not? Oh, you want to close this out and do a bonus?
For the Patreon.
Yeah, we'll do a little MLS Cup bonus. If you want it, you got to go to patreon.com/thebestsoccershow. I posted a video from my couch the other day with Thiago in it just because I wanted to put something up. So you get some of that kind of stuff. That's what you get. You get, it's just for you guys because I love you so much. What else? Is there anything else to tell people about?
I think that's it, buddy.
All right. I guess that's a show. Did we do a show? We did a show. Thank you very much for participating. Huh? What?
According to the timer, we did.
According to the timer, we did a show. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye.
The best. Only the best. Damn, dog. That's in a approach.
Take us to DEFCON 3.
Get to the chopper! WNBC. WNBC.
What's that for? Here we go, saucing them up. Hit up, what?
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Who asked those questions?
Damn, dog, that's in approach. Danger zone!
Jay Rodius.